Thursday evening, 7 o'clock, April the 15th. It's the 15th. It's the third. Is it the third? Yeah, it's the third Thursday in April, and we're getting on down ah to the end of April and in the spring we make spring. We're headed into summer, but we've been enjoying a wonderful day. It's been really pretty here, real pretty. I've been kind of cooped up inside, but that's okay. I've been receiving and meditating and preparing for the night. Did a little laundry too, get some housework. But I'm glad to be here, and I hope I welcome each one of you, conscious creators, co-creators with me and the universe, with God, Creator, creation. That's who we are. Team Conscious Creators. We're here at Facebook. Hi, we're here at Facebook. Love you back. We're here on Facebook Live every Thursday night to share Conscious Creators Toolbox. It's an opportunity to proclaim and confirm and just get deliberate with who you are. And I like to remind you of who you are, and I'll remind you now, and I'll probably remind you on into the topic and the subject tonight. But you're creators. You know what you are. You're manifestors. You manifest your destinies and your realities and your lives as grand and great as they are, or as meager and modest as they are, whichever the case may be, because that's what we do. We cannot not create, because that's what we are. We're created out of the same. We're created by Creator, creation, God, universe, whoever it is that you call your higher power, your maker, your creator, your God, by any name at all. Whatever you call God, however you perceive God in your mind and in your heart, that's who God is, and that's who is your maker, your creator, that's who brought you here. That's why you're here. That's who's responsible for you being here. But now you're here, guess what? He passes that responsibility right on over to you, creator that you are. But anyway, that's who we are. That's who we are. And we are endowed. We inherited the same thing our Father, God, universe, the great I am, whatever you call God. We inherited that same power, the same powers and the same abilities that God can do, Father can do. We're his children, and he did not withhold any good and perfect thing from us. And we can use those same powers and abilities to create and manifest every single thing about our lives, every experience we have, every relationship connection, every job, every heartache, all that stuff. We're responsible for creating it. And all the suffering, the pains too. We do that. We do it. Yes, we do. A girl will say, yeah, did I do that? Yeah, we do that. We are the manifestors of our realities, and Conscious Creators Toolbox is an opportunity for us to look at some of those powers and some of those abilities that we have inherited, so that we can understand and use them effectively and deliberately and on purpose, so that we can be intentional creators. And intentional co-creators or intentional creators are folk that know what they're doing when they're doing it. And it's not, we get a few less, oops, my bad. But of course, we're human. We're human, and we got to make mistakes, and we're supposed to. That's part of our process of learning. That is what our process of learning. It includes, making, you call them mistakes. I kind of upgrade them a little bit and call them a chance to do it over again. You like to do it again. So the chance that, some things are worth repeating, So, just don't call it a mistake, or don't shake your head or feel frowned on it, because, I got quite a few downloads this week and a few words, and I'm going to share them with you because I was told to pass them on. So I'm going to pass on a few things that was given to me. But before I get started, tonight we're going to be talking about your manifestations. I've had a couple of clients this week, and we talked, and I think each one of them, I think I had two or three clients this week so far, but I've had the opportunity they talked about manifestation. Jean, you talk about manifestation. You talk about that we create our own destinies and our own realities and our own lives. And I can get what I say, and I didn't say that though, but you can. But I try to let them know that you have to be careful what you say, because what you say you do get. But yeah, so we had a couple of conversations about manifestation. So, the first part of the week, and I said, you know what, maybe I need to really sit down and think about that, and maybe come up with a lesson or a class or some, some talk that I can share and give my clients as well as you guys, because manifestation is, of course, who you are and what you are. So we're talking about what blocks your manifestation. What blocks your purposeful, what blocks your manifestation, what blocks those manifestations that you intend to manifest. You come out, you step out, and this is what I'm going to manifest, and this is what I'm creating in my life, and this is how my life is, this is how I want my life to look, and you got it all mapped out in your mind, and it's on paper, and you're kind of talking about it, but it's not just happening. So what's going on, Jean? Why can't I seem to manifest what I really want, what I really intend, what I'm desiring? I keep trying, but it just seems like something's in the way. Well, yeah, that's yeah. You're not master. You don't become a master manifester without making a few oops, did I do that, and my bad. Okay, so so I'm sharing tonight. I want to share with you my journey of manifestation and some lessons that I've learned, or maybe I should say continuing. Sometimes some of them I'm continuing to learn. I want to share those with you tonight. So I think I came up as I sit down and listed them, thinking that it would be nice to understand and get a picture of them and have a list of them, so I can, when my clients call up, I can rattle them off to them and kind of share with them. But what I did, I came up with about 15 or 20, and then I just had to stop. I said, you know what? There's a lot of lessons I've been learning, huh? And they are all lessons. I could each one of the items or the things that I came up with, the reasons why, or the things that maybe block our manifestations is what I call it. My list of what blocks my manifestation. That's what I call the list. And each one of them was part of my learning experience. So we're going to talk about that tonight. But before I get into that, I do have a few announcements. I'm going to do a little bit different tonight. I'll tell you about that in just a minute. But I have a couple of announcements. First of all, I want to say welcome everybody and hello. And I want to shout out to Interfaith Truth Center. That's my umbrella. That's who I am. I'm part of that mission, their mission and their services and programs over on Austell Road in Austell, Georgia, US of A. And I want to shout out to them and tell them I'm here. The shingles hanging for ITC, the Conscious Creators Toolbox, on Thursday night. We are part of their mission over there. And I invite you to take a look at their website, interfaithtruth.com. Take a look and see what they're all about. They're a metaphysical store, a metaphysical gift store, and a center, and they provide all types of metaphysical services and products, and just books and just supplies and things like that. Crystals, bracelets, little jewelry, cards, oracle cards, gift greeting cards too. They have some really nice dream catchers. I got a nice supply of dream catchers over there, and some really beautiful spears. I'm just really kind of saving up stashing away some dollars so I can go get me one of those crystal balls, But they have beautiful items over there, and it's a wonderful place to just stop in to visit. Make sure you bring your mask. They have some there, I think, just in case you forget one. But you can sit down and you can just kind of relax and have a little zen, if you would. It's just a nice place to be. So Interfaith Truth Center. .com. Take a look at them, and if you are so inclined, just reach out to them, and drop them a couple of dollars. It's an opportunity to donate to a nonprofit organization, and they provide services to the community. You can do that while you're there, if you want to. We wholeheartedly appreciate it even before you do it, and even if you don't do it, we're glad you stopped in and checked it out. But anyway, I want to say hello to them over there, and take a look and make sure that you are aware of some of the programs and the benefits and the workshops and the classes that they offer over there, because they have a very nice selection of classes that will, hopefully maybe fit your schedules. Something's going on over there pretty much every day but Monday. I think they're closed. Well, Monday they have Tai Chi on Monday. So take a look at that calendar of things to do at ITC. I will be speaking there on the fourth Sunday. I'm part of their ministry team over there, and I get an opportunity to speak every fourth Sunday over at the ITC, Interfaith Truth Center, and I'll be over there on the fourth Sunday. Is it next Sunday? Sunday, not this weekend, but next weekend I'll be over there speaking. But next Thursday, let me tell you that I will not be broadcasting live on next Thursday. We will be doing an astrology workshop with Valentina and Quentin. They're our in-house astrologers, and I'm not sure if they're online with me tonight. Let me take a look and see if they're online with me tonight. We'll have them say hello to you if they are. Let me go back and see if they're here. But anyway, they are going to. We're going to do a workshop with them on. Christopher's here. We got Christopher, and I got a message for Christopher too. We're going to do the workshop on the 22nd, and it's not going to be. We're not going to broadcast next Thursday, unfortunately, for Team Conscious Creators Facebook. We won't be, because we're going to be in the house at ITC and doing a workshop there. We've got about 12 or 15 seats that we are, providing, so you can sit down. And we're also going to Zoom it. So if you would like to be a part of that event, astrology workshop, if you have some curiosity about your sign, your sign, and all your 12 houses, and where those planets lined up when you were born, and how they're affecting you going forward, and how you can use astrology to maybe kind of predict some things that's going on in your life, and take some of the taboo out of it, because it is, God created the heavens and the earth and all that there is in it, including the planets, and they all have a purpose. He didn't just put them up there for for cute little decorations and twinkle twinkle over our heads. There is a reason for each one of those planets, and it could be some folk living on them, or some life living on them, or some beings of some sort living on them, for all we know. But anyway, so we're going to take some of the taboo out of it, and we're going to kind of help you understand a little bit more about how the planets, how the moon, the sun, the stars all come together and affect just this globe, this ball that we live on, and all of the inhabitants, and all of the plants and animals, and all the waters and rivers and streams and oceans and seas, how it affects, how those planets and those stars affect the world. And of course, if it affects the world, guess what? We're part of that world, so we're being affected too. So we get an opportunity to learn how astrology, how astrology, and they'll probably kind of allude a little bit to the science astronomy, but how astrology can be used to, kind of help you predict and understand a little bit more about who you are as that being, as just who you are. So that's the 22nd, and that's with Valentino and Quentin, and they're both very passionate, very eager astrologers. Actually, Quentin is taking the lead on this particular workshop this time because he's got an announcement. I'm going to let him make that announcement on the 22nd when he comes in for the workshop. I won't spill the beans on him because I don't want to have to pull out the Kleenex either. So anyway, we'll let him make that announcement next Thursday. But please you can give me a call or message me if you want to register for that class, or you can call Interfaith Truth Center, and I think I post their telephone number and contact information on the Facebook page, so you can give them a call. They don't open until 1 o'clock, so I know somebody called me and said, I called, but nobody answered the phone. Well, leave a message, because I think they'll call you back. I'm pretty sure they'll call you back, but they really don't open until 1. They're open from 1 to 6 on Tuesday through Friday or Saturday. Well, anyway, the schedule's there, but they open at 1, so they're not there until 1. So give them a call back at 1, or wait and call them about 1 after lunch, and they'll get you all set up. And like I said, we've got 15 seats that's going to be available there at the center, but we are going to Zoom it, and you can, once we get you registered, we will make sure that you get the link for the event, and you'll be able to actually sit at home and be part of the event as well. And we will make sure that we forward. We've got some. I think he's got some documents and some paper, some handouts for the class we're producing, and we'll make sure that we get those in a PDF to you. For those of you who will be, at home on your computers or your phones, we'll make sure we send those to you, because you will need those as reference material that he's providing some information. He's going to kind of talk about your birth chart, and he's going to give you some examples, and give you some, some things that you can make and, kind of take notes on, and kind of, use for reference for later. So do that. I think you're gonna be pleasantly you got to appreciate it. I really, really feel like, and if you're not a stargazer, or you're not so confined to, wanting to wonder, I was born under the sign of Cancer. What does that mean? If you don't care about that, I have a feeling that once you hear their presentation, and their catch a glimpse of their passion, you'll probably catch that little glimmer, or get that little spark, and it'll probably you'll probably fall into having a curiosity, and just wanting to understand a little bit more about it and how you can use it. So let me encourage you, April 22nd, that's next Thursday. Again, we won't be broadcasting next Thursday. I may try to post some, a previous something on the page for those of you who won't be able to join us. But hopefully you'll tune in, because I think we got plenty seats on Zoom. I think we can take up to, I don't know, 50 or 60 folk, but who knows. But anyway, we can if you want to. We're asking a donation of $15. I will say that, and that's because they're working really hard, pulling everything together and making sure that you've got documentation and reference materials and references that you can take ongoing with you. Okay, alrighty. That's on Thursday the 22nd at 7 o'clock. 7 at 7 on Sunday. Every Sunday at 7, unless somebody invite me to dinner. And I'm sorry, sometimes I'll take them up on it, hungry me. But 7 at 7 on Sunday is an opportunity to have a little mini life coach session. It's about a 15 to 30-minute little session. We talk about some things that help you with your coping skills, your relation and connection skills, and, just kind of help you with, just some life skills, some life skills. We talk about things like trust and improving your relationships, and getting a grip on understanding why you do what you do, and why you feel like you feel, and how you can, what do I do about this fear that's going on with me, and you can, just kind of help you with some of those things like that. And let's see if media presence. Of course, we have YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our Facebook page. And we're all Team Conscious Creators. Look us up, register, subscribe, share the link, invite folk to be a part of who we are, what we are. Everybody is a conscious creator, whether they know it or not. Well, everybody is a creator, co-creator, whether they know it or not. And it's our job, our community here. We want you to know that. So so make sure you invite and share our content with folk. Tonight's session is actually dedicated to a member, one of our conscious ones, and his name is Christopher Mauer. He is from Uganda, Africa, and he is part of they call it it was an NGO in that country. We call it a nonprofit organization here, but I think it's another non-governmental organization there. I think that's what they call it, NGO. But he's a part of an NGO, a nonprofit organization called Home for Joy Foundation Africa. And I am going to ask him if he would just post the website. He posts his website on comments, and I want you to take a look at some of the things that they're doing over there with at Home for Joy Foundation in Africa. Just take a look at the website, browse the website, and just see if your heart is moved to be a part of what they do over there. They have, I know that they have a fundraiser going where they're trying to, they're collecting items if you happen to be, driving by in Uganda. But if you're not, you can drop some of your coins in the mail or in I don't know how various ways you can donate, but to be a part of that drive. They're collecting clothes and getting funds for water distribution and for shelter for folk over there, and that is in Uganda. And I don't know, you guys probably know as much as I know about Uganda. We've seen it in TV ads, and we know what's happening over there or has happened over there. So let's be supportive. Let's be supportive of our family. Chris, I'm going to ask you, if you're listening, just post, if you would, in comments, just post their website, the URL for your website there, and I'm going to invite folk to look it up. And if you get a chance, please, if you do get a chance, let me ask you to do this as well. Just post, give us a post every now and again. Tell us what's going on with the kids over there. Let us Let us be a part of what you're doing. If nothing else, we'll send you love and light. But I'm hoping that, we're going to dig in some pockets, whether they're deep or shallow, you can come out with some, coins, and you can kind of help and be a part of that. Anyway, God bless you for what you do, the work that you do. And again, love and light is coming. And, I look for my donation. I'm going to be making a contribution. I said that, last week, but I'm getting around to it. Now that payday struck, I can go in and go forward and do what I say I do. Okay. So I appreciate you being a part of our family. And again, God bless you and the efforts that you do and all of your volunteers. I really will definitely have them on my hit list for prayer and love and light as I'm, just doing my meditation and my giving and my expressing. And I'll make sure that I send it out to you. And I'm going to invite my other conscious creators, conscious ones to join me in doing that. And we say bravo to you and keep it up. Keep up the good work. Keep it up. Keep it up. You're doing a wonderful thing over there. Everybody needs clean water. And, and I would like to point out, too, there is a school drive going, and what they're doing is they're collecting funds and for school supplies. And we in this country understand how important it is for kids to have all the supplies that they need to get in and out of school, in school and get through the day and home again. And if food is always a critical item. So if we can make sure that we get some funds over there so they can have those snacks and warm little pallets or little cots to take those naps on in the middle of the day, we want to help you do that as well. So with the school drive, school supplies, clothing, water, shelter, all of the whole shebang. Just take a look at the website. You can find get a little bit more out about it. Thanks for allowing us to spread the word for you, Chris. And again, God bless you and keep it up. Keep up the good work. Let us know what we can do. Otherwise, that's the announcements for tonight. That is it for tonight. And again, tonight's session is dedicated to the kids over there, those families over there at the Home for Joy Foundation in Uganda. That's what we're dedicating this one to you tonight, okay? So what's blocking my manifestations? That is what we're going to be talking about tonight. And so what is blocking your manifestations? What's blocking your deliberate, purposeful, those things that you're intending to create and manifest for yourself? What's keeping you from getting it? Are you hitting like 99.1%, or are you like me and it's like kind of down to nowhere near 100, nowhere near, I got a ways to go, but I'm working on it. But like I said, I came up with about 15, 16, 17, about 20 in that area of things that I have learned on my journey for manifestation. Now, I call myself a master. Now, if I've got at least 20 things that I know that keeps me from blocking, I'm a master now. And I'm a proud master. I have the flag, and I'll just, I want a badge, as a matter of fact. But we all are. We all are masters. And I kid when I say that. But I do make it an effort to be deliberate and to be conscious and aware of what I'm, what I'm trying to bring and draw into my life, and then I look at my life and I evaluate it daily, actually, to see how I'm doing, and that's basically how I discovered some of these things that I had been doing that was keeping me from manifesting the life and the things that I wanted, that I dreamed about, that I wanted deliberately to bring into my life. Because a lot of times I don't. I think that we probably, all of us, hit and miss sometimes, and we wonder why. And like my clients this week wondered, what am I doing wrong? Well, you're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing what you're doing is you're paving the way for you to learn a lesson, or to understand manifestation, to understand, how we bring things, how we draw things into our lives, and how we don't sometimes, and we really want to. So we learn a little bit more about ourselves in that process of manifestation, because that's what we are. We're creators. First of all, foremost, but without any other title that we put on ourselves. We're beings that manifest and create. So you cannot not create. All right? So what you get, how your life looks today, It's what you planted and you manifested sometime prior to today to bring it into to bring it out into the existence today. Now I say out into existence because everything starts inside of us. It's an internal world that's going on inside of us that we manifest to bring out to the world and to actually live and experience with it. So what is it? What blocks us sometimes from getting there, from getting and doing and having the things that we want and we dream about? What is it? Okay. Well, as you know, all of us, like I said, mismanifest a lot of the time. A lot of the time. And we end up with something we didn't really want, didn't really mean to manifest. That's frustrating us because we have it. We don't want it. It's making us sad. It's cramping our style. It's not making us happy. It's not making us feel good about life and stuff. It's just, it's kind of, it's making it look like, wow, this is not what I had in mind, or I love living, but it's got to be something better, So when you are not manifesting your better or your good or your best, then you're manifesting stuff that you don't want. And I say you're manifesting it, and I tell you, I plead with you, stop blaming it. If you are looking around to who to blame it on, don't look around no farther than your mirror, okay? Because you manifest absolutely everything that happens in your life. Everything. Nothing gets by you, okay? Nothing gets into you, into your being, into your your experience. Nothing without it getting past you, okay? So you did that. Like Urkel said, did I do that? Yes, you did that. So tonight what I want to do is I want to share them, but I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to, like I said, I've got 21, and I won't get nowhere near that number, maybe 3 or 4. But what I want to do is I want to answer them. I want to give them to you, and I want to explain to you the lessons. And again, all of these are lessons that I personally experienced and learned and continuing to learn and continuing to have to be aware of and be focused on and deal with constantly, because it raises its little head all the time, because I am a body. I'm a person that lives in the world, and I have this mind and this ego, and and I have things that this body wants or desire or hunger for, and and you can't have chocolate today, or the doctor said we got to stop coffee, but I still didn't make body happy. Body's still gonna want caffeine. So I still have to deal with me and getting it done. So what I'm going to do is I want to give them to you, hopefully maybe explain or express my experience with it or my understanding, and give you an opportunity to post a question, or if you want clarity or something I said that don't make sense, jot me a comment, and I'll stop and I'll review and I'll answer any questions that you might have in the process of this talk tonight. I'm going to pretend that I've got you guys in front of me. So please feel free to post your questions if you have any questions at all about why I can't manifest my best or my better or my good or the things that I want. And why do I end up with stuff that I don't want, that aggravates me, that makes me sad, that causes me problems? Why is I'm dealing with that all the time? So that's what we got to talk a little bit about. So number one, the first thing that came to mind when I was talking to my clients is that a lot of times, and this is probably number one, we fail to fully understand who and what and whose we are. All right. Now, I always try to tell you the conscious creator. And when you come to Conscious Creator's Toolbox, I remind you who you are, and I've already done that. But I want to tell you again that you are a creator. You cannot not create. You cannot not manifest. And I don't care if you get mad with me, if you want to throw things at me, you want to click off the whatever, you manifested everything. You manifested me up in here today, okay? You manifest everything about you, about your life, what you see, what you eat, what you taste, where you go, where you come, where you're all this COVID. Not always alone, because we don't manifest alone. We co-create. We co-create with somebody else. We've got other folks that's agreeing with what we are, what we're experiencing. Okay, so but we collaborate with that. So we jump in it and we hello, this is what we got. COVID. Yes, we did. We created that. Yes, we did. This racial strife. Yes, we created that. Yes, we did. All the anger and the frustration. We created that too. Yes, we did. We created it all. We brought it up in here and we made it. And you know what? We can do something about it if we want to. We can undo it and redo it. There's nothing wrong with redoing. Nothing wrong with redoing. But the first thing that I always remind my clients, and I remind myself, is that if I'm creating, if I'm a creator and everything about me is my doing, and God gave me that right and that power and that privilege to do it, how am I using it? How am I recognizing who I am, and how am I demonstrating and expressing and being the person that I am? If I'm manifesting something that's not that's good, then obviously I'm mishandling who I am, what I am, and I'm disregarding whose I am. Because Father creates, error-free, all right? Whatever Father creates, it's done, and it's hello, it's okay, and it's good, and it's good, and he said it was good, and he rested when he finished it, okay? So he's done his creating, y'all, okay? It's up to us to start manipulating that creation and coming up and manifesting the stuff, that he's already laid out, okay? So when we do not get what we want, then the first thing we ask ourselves, am I honoring the fact that the truth that I am a creator, the truth that I am a chip off the block, or chip off the Father, or my inheritance, am I using my inheritance wrong or right? So that's one of the first things that I ask myself, and sometimes I'm not, and again, I am a master manifester, okay? I'm a master manifester. But sometimes I misuse who I am. I disregard who I am. I lay aside who I am. I let somebody else help me define who I am. As the master that I am, yes, I do. I make a boo-boo. So that's the first thing. The very first thing I want to say that is a block, is that we misuse it. We misuse it. We mistake it. We dishonor it. We ignore it. We don't use it properly. All right. Now, when I was meditating and working on this, one of the things that Father gave me, or that was given to me from my higher self, was, you say, Jean, that I made a mistake. I didn't mean to manifest that. Well, you may not have deliberately you may deliberately manifested it, but it was not a mistake. Because absolutely every manifestation you manifest, that I manifest, that Kim manifests, that Jackie manifests, that Virginia manifests, it is for some purpose. It's for some purpose. And it's not a wasted manifestation. Because whatever it is that you bring into your life, there's a reason for it, and it's up to you to figure it out or to understand what it is. And a lot of times, because you don't understand what it is, and it's something that higher power, God, wants us to understand, you got to reflect or deflect to creating it until you do get the understanding, okay? And that's my experience. My personal experience is things keep happening in my life, and then one day I wake up and say, hey, I've been over this way like the past 5 years, and it's the same old stuff. Why am I doing it? What am I doing? I'm in a pattern, okay? Well, what am I supposed to learn from that pattern? So I sit down and I look and I realize it's a pattern, and I do not always 100% on time and 100%, good, successful, but when I do come to my senses and realize that I've created a pattern here and I'm doing the same thing over and over, I back up, I stop, and I get off that train, that little Ferris wheel or whatever. I get off and I step and I just watch it go around maybe, and watch and see, what's happening. And then when I get in that play, I try to remember what I did the last time, and oh no, that's not what I need to do, because I want a different outcome. So I change my script, if you would. So that's something that it's helpful to understand that when you find yourself repeating yourself without even realizing that you are. But when you finally somebody tells you, like a life coach, life coach kind of reminds you or kind of help you see that's just what you're doing, or your family member or somebody, then get off. Get off, but let the train keep going and you watch it. And it's when it's your time to make that reaction, what did you do the last time? And don't do the same thing, so that you can, and then what happens is when you make that change, after you make that change and something else happens, the understanding will come why you were in that pattern in the first place. Because there was something in that pattern that you needed to understand, and it was going to keep on going until you understood it. So when you stepped off and you got that understanding, voila, you're wiser, and you've removed the block in your manifestation abilities and powers, and you're getting what you want a little bit more often than not, okay? So that's the first thing, recognizing who you are and also honoring the fact that you are a creator and that you're creating, just absentmindedly. So I'm going to flip the switch. I'm going to start getting myself involved. So if you have a question about that, I don't see any questions, so you guys understand that, right? Okay. Number 2, the second thing, and these are my high fives. I put them on the top. My high five: lack or poor awareness, consciousness, and attention. I said a lack or poor. I didn't say I didn't have any, because I'm aware. I'm not going to say you don't have any, because my clients come in here and they're very aware, they're very conscious, and they're attentive. They can hold a conversation and remember, to pay me when they get ready to go. So, so they're attentive, So, but a lack or poor awareness and consciousness and poor attention can be a block for us sometimes, okay? Because what are you aware of, all right? How aware are you? And what are you conscious of? And where are you placing your attention? Where are you placing your attention? Where is your attention most of the time, all right? Do you ever stop, take a little breather, meditate a little bit, say some prayers, kind of refocus, get into now? Where are you putting your attention? Is it always in tomorrow? Is it back in yesterday? Mm-hmm. You can't create in either one of those places. You have to be in the now. So if your attention or your consciousness or your awareness is all focused outside of the present, you're not ever, ever, ever going to be in charge or have the reins of your manifestation powers and abilities. You've laid them down. You've laid them down, and you've wandered off into the future, and that's where your conscious and awareness is and your attention is, okay? Or you're back in the past. The only time you can manifest or create anything, co-create anything, is when you're present, when you're in the present, in the now. Nothing happens, nothing happens but the now. Nothing happens, the only place that anything happens is now, all right? Yesterday it happened, it's done. Tomorrow it ain't happened yet, it's happening. You have to be in the present to do it, to make it happen. So where is your attention? Where are you spending your thoughts and your mind and your ego? Where's all that happening? Center yourself every now and then, and I can give you a couple of ways to do it. We're not talking about how you can do it tonight. I'm just pointing out the things that so you can realize, oh yeah, I do that. I am always thinking about tomorrow. I'm always worrying about what's going to happen or what happened, or I'm always, I'm just rarely do I meditation, prayer, journaling, just a few. I'm going to throw those out because I really want you to be now, because if you're not now, you're missing a lot of life. And it's too precious to lose and to miss. So, stay in the now as often and as much as you can. Something that I want to point out too about attention and consciousness. I want to talk a little bit more about those. With consciousness, consciousness is not just our immediate thoughts. When you think of your present awareness and consciousness, it's that. It's right now, and it's what I'm thinking, and what's happening in my mind, and what's happening in it. But there's a subconscious. There's a subconscious too. Are you are you connected in that area, in your subconscious at all? Do you realize that you can and you should be? Because 90% of what's functioning and what's operating is your subconscious. All right? Unfortunately, that's where most of the action takes place. So if 90% of your to do or motivation is from your subconscious, don't you think you need to figure out how to contact and be in touch with it? Yeah? All right? And your higher self, because you want instructions from your higher self, and you want that connection with your heart, so that you got to work it all together. Your ego and your mind and your subconscious and your heart and that connection with your higher self and the higher power, you got to make that connection. That's that connection is connecting all of that consciousness, not just bits and pieces of it. We let our subconscious just do its thing. Well, you know what? It's our subconscious, it's our conscious, it's our cousins, the subconscious and unconscious. It's all of ours. It's at our disposal, all right? And we can man it. We can be the boss of it. We can supervise it. We can be we can stir it. We can have the reins and we can rein it, all right? The connection when you talk consciousness, and when I talk consciousness, and when I say that I'm a conscious creator, and when you say you're a conscious creator, hopefully you're not missing that it's not just your conscious, your present conscious that you're talking about. We're talking about your unconscious and your subconscious, the whole consciousness, okay? So think about that, and also think about where you're placing your attention and what you're aware of. And that's aware now, aware in the present, not what you were aware of or you will be aware, what you're aware of. Awareness only happens now too, okay? So listen to your heart, make that connection between your higher self, the higher power, your heart, your subconscious, and get ego to, rein ego in and have ego be part of the game too, okay? Ego's going to buck you a few times, but give ego time. He comes around. Anybody got any questions about that one? Poor or lack of awareness, consciousness, and attention. The third one I wanted to kind of share with you is overlooking the signs or misinterpreting the signs that the universe and that God gives you, and comes from your intuition, comes from your heart space. Are you ignoring it? Are you misinterpreting those signs? That gut feeling that you get sometimes? Do you ignore it? You're like, oh, maybe I need to take some a Rolade or some antacid tablet or whatever. No, that might be that your body's trying to tell you something. And your body, do you listen to your body? Your body it has messages too. So are you paying attention to all parts of you that signals or can pass on information and understanding that you will need in manifestation and operating and even in basically experiencing the manifestations that you have and understanding those manifests and enjoying them or not, all right? So, but there's no such thing as a coincidence. Let me tell you that. I know we call them coincidences, and you can call it a coincidence, but it's not just a coincidence. Absolutely, again, everything that happens in your life, to your life, for your life, has a reason, not a purpose. Those synchronicities that things that happen that just out of the blue, and you think, well, what was going on there? That's a, wow, that's a wow. Well, a wow is a message. It could be a message in that. So don't ignore those coincidences and don't just brush them aside and say, oh, that was cool. No, that was cool, but wow, that was cool. I wonder what was that all about? Or what is this? Why is it that every time I think of such and such and such, I get this kind of feeling in my little whatever? Or the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I'm laying there, I get this urge that I need to, check my blood pressure or whatever, and it passes, and I, just go on and take my business, Then, because I know people that's done this, and 2 months later, they're, in the hospital. They had a stroke or something. So do not ignore the signs and the messages that the universe sends you through your intuition, through your heart space, through the gut feelings that you get, through those crazy little feelings that you might get in and out of around your body. They mean something. So when we start overlooking that, we're overlooking maybe some information that you need to get to help bring that manifestation that you've asked for, that you've ordered, that you've created, that you've manifested, bring it on into your experience, okay? So don't overlook and don't take for granted coincidences, synchronicities, twinges, and things that your heart tell you, and those little, intuitions or that gut feeling that you get. Don't ignore them. Don't ignore them. Don't ignore them. And by the way, your body is this big antenna that receives messages and, can interpret them for you. But you have to be attentive to that. And there you go, another reason to be attentive. In order to be, and you got to be present. You got to be in that present to take an inventory of these things that's happening in the present, okay? All right. Anybody have any questions about that? No questions. Okay. Nobody has any problem with overlooking and misrepresenting your signs that you get. You guys are masters, I tell you. You guys do not call me and tell me that you're not getting what you manifest, that you're not manifesting the best in your life. Okay. Because you got it. You understand it. Number five. Overlooking the power of gratitude. That's an easy one. That's almost like a no-brainer. There's a Bible verse that I was taught growing up, and it went something like, if I can remember it. Did I write it down? I hope I did, because I don't want to misrepresent the word. Let's see. Did I write it down? Well, maybe I didn't, but it went something like, I'm going to paraphrase it. To be trusted with greater things, you need to appreciate the lesser things. To be trusted with bigger things, take care of the little things. So how are you appreciative, and are you conscious, and you're aware, and you're attentive, and you're appreciating and taking care of what you've got? Are you expressing, are you happy today, even without what it is that you want to bring into your life? Are you always already grateful for the life that you have? Whether it's a minus whatever this is that you're manifesting, but can you still say, thank you, I'm grateful, I appreciate, I'm happy, I'm thankful. I will be happier, but I'm happy just the way I am. And if I don't get another thing, I'm glad that I can breathe today, and I can lay down in my warm bed tonight, and all my children, my family's fine and alive and circling around and about me. That's okay. That's fine. But when I get this thing, it's going to just bring more joy into my life. But I'm appreciating what I have. I'm not, putting that aside or brushing that or saying that I don't want that. That's, I'm appreciating what I have. So do not, let me plead with you, absolutely in every day of your life, and hopefully in many times throughout the day, you can find a reason to be grateful and to be appreciated, and express it. Express it to, walking around, wow, this beautiful, thank you for this beautiful community that I'm living in. Thank you for this, for the water to drink. In Africa and Uganda, they're pleading for help to bring fresh water to them. All right? Thank you that I can send my kids to safe school. In Uganda, they're pleading for supplies and things so that the teachers can teach and the kids can be attentive and okay and be in a state to understand and learn. But so we're going to learn to be grateful. If we're not already practicing daily gratitude, daily appreciation, great daily thankfulness, then let me put that at the top of your list, starting right now, starting today, and in the morning, and every day after that, every morning after that, every time you wake up and you can breathe, and you can open your eyes and you can see, or even if you're blind, that you can still sense the presence, that you're present and aware and accounted for. You should say thank you. All right? Thank you. So be grateful. Don't overlook the power of gratitude. No questions about gratitude. That's a good one. All right, number 6. Underestimating the power of negativity and negative people. We magnetize, or we vibrate at a certain vibration. Remember, we talk about vibration. We talk about vibrating and being, you know, high vibrational because we want to be grateful and we want to be happy and we want to express love and joy. So those are the things that causes us to be high vibrational. And what we do is we vibrate, and the thing that we're trying to manifest and draw into us has a vibration also. So it has to be compatible. So if it's not, if it's vibrating at a different rate or a different frequency, it ain't ever going to happen. So we want to stay in that positive. We want to stay, and we can't always, just be truthful. We can't always be positive all the time, but we want to be as consistent with positivity as we can. And when we recognize negative, we want to avoid it like a plague. Okay, we want to transmute that negativity into positivity. Okay, we want to either dash away from it, or if you can, transmute it. Change it if you can. Unfortunately, let me just warn you. This is a warning, Will Robinson. Usually, honestly, and I haven't figured quite this out yet, but usually negative will overpower positivity, just because we have to be purposeful and conscious and attentive and aware consciously, as much as possible, as frequently, all the time if possible, to maintain our positive attitude, our positive thinking, our positive thoughts. Because if we just let go, if we just kick back and take a break, guess what? Negativity is going to sneak in, and it's going to be in before you know it. And then the break is over, and you come back to doing what you need to do. And guess what? Your thinking is going to be tainted. You're going to start having these negative conversations with yourself. You're going to be having these negative feelings, produced because you took a break and you weren't deliberate about being positive. Unfortunately, we have to be deliberate about positivity. Positivity just does not just simply happen, okay? Negativity does. Negativity will sneak in without any effort at all. It just pops in. Now, and I did say negative people, and I don't mean it insulting any person, anybody, but sometimes I can be negative, Sometimes I'm a boohoo person, and sometimes, not too often, but I can be because I'm human. And when I'm a boohoo person, what I try to do when I'm boohoo is I try to avoid people, but I can't always, Sometimes my daughter might call me and ask me that she needs a babysitter right quick or whatever, and I have to go over, and I'm in this boohoo mood. So if I'm not careful, I will take my boohoo mood over to her house watching the kids. And guess what? They're so hyper and everything, and they're always positive that they transmute me right away. I love that. But if I'm not careful, if I called you and you were kind of like just about sinking, and I called you and I'm in this boohoo thing going, and then I'm dumping my boohoo on your slowly fading positivity, then guess what? We're going to have two negative folk, and misery needs company, so I got some and you got one. But we should try to be very conscious and aware of what we're saying and talking and saying to ourselves and how we're feeling. That's why being attentive and being present is the best way to maintain that positivity and maintain that consciousness of it and the attention of it and the purposefulness of it. Because again, all of that have to be happening in the present. It has to be in the now. So be careful underestimating the power of negativity. Negativity it's real. It is very, very real, and it's quick to overtake and flood. All right. I think let me see if I got time for another one. Let me think. Maybe this last one, 7. We got half done. Almost half done. Giving too much power to fear, desperation, and frustration and doubt. And naysayers. All right. Giving too much power to fear. Giving too much power to feeling desperate. giving too much power to being frustrated and doubting. All right, all of those, all of these powers, and then this is not the whole list, but these particular ones, these are high. These are some of the higher powers that we tend to give into, or they overtake us. We allow them to overpower us. It's fear, fear, and fear is the worst. It is probably the worst thing, or the worst being, or the worst state of being that you can be in to attempt to manifest. And it's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you. All it's going to do is going to produce more fear, and it's going to taint everything else that happens to manifest during the process, during the time. It's going to be tainted. So fear has no home with you, okay? Fear has no home with any of us. The best way to overtake fear is to do it anyway. Whatever it is that you fear, just do it. Just grit your teeth, close your eyes if you have to, and just do it. Just do it. Do it, okay? Do it with the fear. The fear's going to be there. Just do it. It's the only way you get over fear. Just do it, all right? And being desperate. Being desperate means that you're holding on to an expectation, or holding on to a conclusion, and you're not going to be flexible about it, all right? I want this, I want to manifest this, and I want it to be purple, and I want it to be size 2, and I want it to be, this long and this wide, and I want it to be able to do this and nothing else, all right? Well, guess what? Remember now, when you came up with the idea of becoming a, I don't know, a pilot. Say, I'm learning how to fly a plane. You never, you were 10 years old when you decided that I'm going to be a pilot, okay? All right? When you looked in the mirror and you said, I'm going to be a pilot. And you imagine yourself being that pilot, okay? Well, when you got old enough to be a pilot, all kind of things happen in that, from 10 to 20 to from 25, whenever you got those license. You changed from that little girl or little boy that had that dream and had that desire to manifest being a pilot. You knew you couldn't be a pilot at 10, maybe. I think you can sometimes these days, but you wanted to fly a commercial pilot, okay? You can't be 10, but okay. So you had to be old enough to do that. So all those years passed, and you changed and but you still held on to that dream. Well, the requirements and and the type of plane have changed, and the planes that you were dreaming about, they don't even have them anymore. They're in the over in the museum, so if you're still holding on to that exact dream that you had when you were 10, it's never going to manifest, because they don't make those planes anymore. All right, they don't make them, and you're grown up now, and the seat's bigger, and so are you. So things change. So you have to allow universe to be able to do what universe and God does behind the scene of your manifestation that you have no clue about. That's why people think it's magic, because, well, how did that happen? God's, I can hear universe going, you don't have time. You don't even have enough time for me to explain to you all the pieces and parts and folk and situations that had to go into you being a pilot 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So don't be so desperate. Don't be so desperate and tied to the exact size, color, and da-da-da. Because I promise you that when it's delivered, when it's finally delivered to you, if it's not going to be the thing that you wanted exactly, it's going to be a whole lot better than you ever thought it would be, okay? So don't be desperate. Don't be tied so much to the conclusion. That's desperation. That's showing desperate. And then you're frustrated because it's not happening. Being frustrated when you're not happy. I'm guilty of all of these. They've all happened to me. I don't have time to, I'm like universe and God, you don't have enough time for me to explain to you how many times it took me to really finally understand and step out of that. But frustration is another one that plagues. And doubt. A lot of times we say, this is what I want to manifest, this is what I want, this is what I really want in my life. And as soon as we get it out of get the thought formed, and we haven't even formed the picture yet, we instantly start doubting it. Oh, I probably can't do that. I don't even know why did I even say that I want, probably, it's not going to happen. We start doubting ourselves sometimes right immediately. As soon as we get the desire out, we start doubting if we can pull it off, right? So don't give power to fear. Don't give power to desperation. Don't give, in fact, take your power back. In all of these, work through them. Work through them and take that power back from fear. The best way to take power back from fear is just do it. With frustration, again, let it go and let God and let creation, let universe bring you the package, all right? Deliver the package. Frustration, again, hands off, mind off. Come into, this is what you said, agree with it, and get rid of the doubt, all right? And the naysayers, the best thing to do with a naysayer is to don't even create, if you don't share it with a naysayer, you know who naysayers are. You know who they are. I don't ever point them out to you. I don't. I can describe them to you and you'll know who they are. But you know what a naysayer. Do not share your dreams with a naysayer. Do not do that. That's the worst thing in the world that you could ever do. It's the worst co-creator you could ever find is a naysayer. So avoid naysayers, okay? Number 8, and that was going to be my last one. I'm going to leave the rest. Maybe I'll post all of these on the site so you can have a little bit of all of them. I don't know if I'll spend it. I don't know if I'll kind of give you. Well, maybe I'll give you a few examples of them. But again, you manifest anyway. You may not get exactly what you want because you've got some things or blockages or mental ways of thinking and perceptions or maybe some limiting beliefs, some beliefs about yourself that you're maybe not worthy of it. Like I said, first time you put it out there and the first thing you do is snatch it back. I really can't do that. I'm not gonna do. I'm just not gonna do it. It's just not gonna happen for me. I'm too young. I'm too old. I'm too tall. Whatever. All of those things we start doubting right away. So stop. Listen to this again. Listen to those reasons again, and put yourself in the place of these 7 items that I've pointed out to you, because I promise you, all of us have gone through these 7 items. And like I said, I've got 8 more, but I didn't get around to. But if you even if you can address the 7 that we talked about and get comfortable with it, and don't tell me that now you got that licked, because you don't. I'm sorry, you're human. You don't. You don't, because if you did, you probably wouldn't be listening to me, and you'd probably be somewhere, I don't know, helping me tell other folk how to do it. I don't know. And again, I call myself a master because I am a master, but I work through these. I have worked through them more than once. Chances are I'll put something out there in the universe that I want, and I'll immediately think, oh, well, maybe I should wait. That's just something we do. So we have to continually spot check ourselves, assess our situations, and come up with understanding why we do, what we think, what we're believing, what we're feeling at the time that we're out here, manifesting and bringing things into our lives. And then we look at what we've got, and is this what I want? I've got it, I'm okay with it, but is it really, really the best? Is it the best, or is just I'm settling with this? Because we do settle, and we're okay. I'm okay with settling, but you're not okay with settling, because God wants the best for you. Your best and God's best are miles apart, okay? So your best, you want your best. Well, you know what? God will give you his best. When you agree, when you say, I want the best for me, God's going to give you his best. Creation is going to be his best to you. And I promise you, it is a whole lot better than your best, all right? So manifest best. Tell universe that we're manifesting best, and watch and see what universe does. Guys, I appreciate you being with me tonight, and I hope you got something out of it. I didn't see any questions. You know what? Sometimes my laptop doesn't keep up, and I'm a day late and $1 short because of my server. But anyway, I'll go back and look, and I'll post the answers if there were questions that I missed. But in the meantime, always manifest best. I hope to see you guys on Sunday, 7 for 7. If not, hope to see you, some of you, next Thursday at ITC for the astrology workshop. Look for Quentin and Valentina. They've got a great treat for you planned. So we'll see you then. And again, Manifest Beth, God bless you. I love you, and God does too. And you love you, and you love me. And we're a happy family. Take care. See you next time.